joining us now in this segment of Focus Live as we pay tribute to legendary Bappi-Da. We have with us renowned playback singer and a stage singer, Anuradha Palakurthi Juju. Now, Anuradha has shared the stage and also has worked with Bappi-Da on several projects. Anuradha, thank you so very much for joining us on Focus Live Season 4. Today, it's a very sad moment. We're trying to pay the tribute to legendary Bappi-Da, popularly known for his disco music, but there was much more, that goes beyond disco music, what he composed. Before I really talk about his compositions and some of the projects that you collaborated with Bappi-Da, I want to get your emotions. What are the emotions like right now?
So the primary emotion right now is of shock. I'm so far away from the family. We're very close. He was my mentor for the past 6 years. So every day it was, a call to him. He would call me and tell me, Anuradha, do this, Anuradha, do that. Whatever I did in the industry, in the Bollywood industry, he had a very important role to play in guiding me. Everything I did, I would ask him, Bappi-Da, what do you think? Should I do this? So it's very difficult. It is unimaginable that I cannot make that call today.
So 6 years is a long association, and you as you mentioned that you've been, talking to him day in, day out. We also understand that his health was deteriorating over a period of time. Did you observe that as well?
Yes, I did. When I first met him, he had a hard time walking. He needed help to get up from his chair and walk. It was just that. Nothing else, nothing emotional, nothing mental. He was sharp as a tack, and he remembered everything, his entire body of work. He could tell you when, what happened, but he had a hard time getting up. So there was talk about knee surgery and all that. So he underwent that in LA, but after that, his mobility kind of reduced. So I think that took him down. He was a man, larger than life man. He was surrounded by Lata-ji, Asha-ji, Mohammad Rafi, Kishore-da, and film stars were steady stream of, celebrities coming in and out of his home. And then to be confined to where you cannot walk, you can't go to the studio, every day for him, he was a singer first, a musician, a singer first before he became a music director. So for him to imagine not being able to walk to the studio and sing or record or direct music, I think that took a toll on his mental health. And when your spirit is not right, your physical body kind of goes down. That's what I think. And I think then COVID did a number on him.
Yeah.
Years of no music, no recording, away from family, away from everybody. He cannot leave the house. So I think that took him down quite a bit. And then he was diagnosed with sleep apnea, and then something else. He had issues with breathing and everything. Son is away and everything. And then I think the most important thing for him, knowing him, I think Lataji's passing away, he might have had a big shock for that.
As you very aptly said that this man was larger than life. और जब आपने ये कहा ना कि वो उठ नहीं पा रहे थे, चल नहीं पा रहे थे, तो मुझे वो ध्यान में आ रहा था कि ये वो शख्स थे जिनके गीतों को सुन करके कोई बैठ नहीं पाता था, सब किसी को नाचने को मन करता था, झूमने को मन करता था। और आप लोगों ने तो कई बार स्टेज के ऊपर एक साथ परफॉर्म किया है। लास्ट जो मैं समझ पा रहा हूँ कि आप लोगों के 3 कुछ कॉन्सर्ट्स जो Bappi-Da के US के 2-3 लास्ट कॉन्सर्ट्स थे, वो आप ही के साथ थे।
Correct. And I remember I have done quite a few shows, that in the United States. I have done Madan Mohanji's tribute to R.D. Burman, Suresh Wadkar ji के साथ गाना गाया, बहुत कुछ किया। फिर Bappi-Da आए, और Bappi-Da के साथ जो शो किया, वो बहुत sudden हुआ. मतलब I was actually part of a judging contest in United States, and he was the big celebrity in that contest. And Meenakshi Shishadri also was one of the judges. And that's how I met him. And when I met him, I was like, mouth open, jaw open and all that. And he just walked in, and a very humble band, volunteer band in New Jersey. He knew them, they're Bengali. And hum sab aise dekh rahe unko. That's when I saw him. with such क्या बोलते हैं, it was like magic, you know, the way he said तुम ये बजाओ, तुम ये बजाओ, तुम ये बजाओ, बस उतना ही करो, बाकी I'll take care of it. And then I had to sing with him all his numbers, and I was watching him, and I was very privileged that he heard me. मेरी आवाज सुनी उन्होंने, मेरा सुर सुना, मेरे को अकेले में गाने के लिए बोला without any this thing. He tested me properly. Then he said, "Khub, Anuradha, very nice." तुम्हें चाँद पे ले जाए, प्यार भरे सपने सजाए, छोटा सा बंगला बनाए. So I had the honor of singing the Mirchi Award song of his, Ooh La La, Ooh La La, the ultimate high octane number. और वो भी उनको ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं इसका सुर देखूं उसका सुर देखूं, वो अपने सुर में गाते थे. क्या आवाज थी उनकी, unbelievable. You know, he was a man, he sang from his heart. And in my opinion, if there is art without that expression is dry and dead. And he could sing like that. When he opened his mouth, he would hit that note. And he didn't need a mic. ऐसे गाते थे खुला. And he would improvise as he's singing. And he was singing all the fast numbers. तो मैंने थोड़ा सा उनके बारे में पढ़ा. मैंने कहा ये बार बार हम कोई यहाँ नाचे नाचे कर रहे हैं. We're doing, what is that? Jimmy, Jimmy, आजा आजा ये करे. Oh, please remind me to tell you a story about Jimmy, Jimmy. तो ये सब गा रही हूँ. I realized उनके इतने बड़े बड़े beautiful songs. बैरागी भैरव में किसी नजर ने तेरा किसी नजर को तेरा इंतजार आज तेरा इंतजार. Me and my lyrics, I'm blanking out. ऐसे गाने लता जी के गाने ये सब उन्होंने बनाए. किसी नजर को तेरा इंतजार आज भी है, वो प्यार जिसके लिए हमने छोड़ दी दुनिया. ज्यादा लोग जानते नहीं है कि उन्होंने ऐसे भी गाने बनाए हैं.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. मुझे तो देखिए उनका ऑल टाइम क्लासिक जो मेरे जब भी बप्पी-दा शो पर आए, मेरा दूसरा जो प्रोग्राम था फेस टू फेस में, उनसे मैंने चलते चलते की गुजारिश करी. कई बार उन्होंने उस को गाया, दिल को छू जाता था. किशोरदा की आवाज में अपना मजा है, लेकिन बप्पी-दा की आवाज में अगर वो गीत को सुने तो उसका अपना ही मजा है.
Tell you a story about in my opinion, the best song Bappi-Da has sung is याद आ रहा है. You know, that song was not meant for Bappi-Da. It was written and composed for Kishorda. And Kishorda was his mama ji. जैसे मैं बात कर रही हूँ, इस एक हर 10 मिनट में एक बार किशोर मामा की बात आती थी. Bappi-Da would talk about his mama ji. He was so, for him, his mama ji was everything. It was meant for him. And Kishorda was not in town. वो कहीं travel कर रहे थे शो में. तो उन्होंने कहा, बप्पी तू जाके गा दे ये गाना मेरे लिए, because they want to record. Shoot mix होता है, shoot mix के लिए गाना चाहिए. So Bappi-Da went inside and sang. So when Kishorda came to town, he heard the song. He said, अब मैं ये नहीं गाऊंगा, ये गाना तेरा है. पिक्चर में भी यही आवाज यूज करी. And that's how that song got to be made. याद आ रहा है तेरा प्यार, कहाँ हम कहाँ तुम हुए तुम कहाँ तुम, अभी जाए के बाद. ओ याद आ रहा है तेरा प्यार. There's so many stories Bappi-Da used to tell us, and you know, he loves to be with people. अगर आप इस कमरे में हो और आपने by mistake मुंह उधर कर लिया, he'll say, आप मेरी बात सुन रहे हैं या नहीं? Then you say, हाँ Bappi-Da मैं सुन रही हूँ. मेरी बात सुनो, यहाँ बैठो, मेरे साथ बैठो, मैं जो कह रहा हूँ सुनो अनुराधा. That's how he was. He's such a charming, such a warm man.
Tell me about his creative process, you know, the magic of music that he did in the studios. I know you've shared the stage with him, but also spent a lot of time with him in the studios as well when he was recording. Talk about that.
So all artists have their own chapa, right? They have their own style. He had his own style. So he would start with a classical tune, right? ऐसे बनाएंगे, उसका words निकालेंगे. And then slowly it will become like Bappi-Da's song. and it'll retain its melody, but he will add यहाँ पे थोड़ा, वहाँ पे थोड़ा. For instance, उनके साथ मैंने गाया एक Times Now का एक program आया था on online. I don't remember the channel. Times Now channel पे आया था, where the show was about taking an older music director like Bappi-Da's generation and a current music director like Vishal Shekhar. They take each other's songs and they rearrange it.
It's a beautiful concept. I remember it was for
right. तो गाना है.
It is for MX Player, you know, the OTT platform, MX Player, yeah.
Correct. So this was about 2 years ago, I think in 2019 ऐसे कुछ किया था. तो उसमें that was probably his last performance on stage. तो उसमें एक गाना इनको what he took was जग घूमया. आपने जग घूमया सुना है from the movie Sultan.
Correct.
जग घूमया थारे जैसा ना कोई. ऐसे जाता है. It's like a ballad, very folksy tune. He took that song, he added baul music, folk music from Bangla. Uttar ghela, shine ghela, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la. वहां से जग घूमया शुरू हो गया. And then Bappa did a lot of arrangement, and then उनके बेटे ने भी उसमें काम किया है. And then ऐसे चल रहा है, ऐसे गाना चल रहा है, गिटार बज रहा है, सितार बज रहा है, स्लो हो रहा है, ऊपर जा रहा है. Suddenly he said उसमें एक element ऐड किया, जग घूमया, something very contemporary he added.
My gosh.
That was his stamp to that song. I think that song is just brilliant. It's a beautiful rearranging of another director's song.
You know, his music was always ahead of
So the thing is, I saw him doing that.
Yeah.
वो मैंने देखा. And then he took a Ganpati का गाना. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Ganpati का एक गाना बनाया उन्होंने. और Ganpati का गाना, you think devotional गाना होगा. वो ऐसा गाना बजाया उन्होंने. I think that was made for me. He called me and said, Anuradha, एक गणपति के ऊपर गाना बनाएंगे. I said, Bappi-Da, you think I can do it? I said, yes, I want to do it with you. He wrote it. He designed the song. I sang it. It was like my son says, it was a banger.
Again, that's exactly where I was about to reach as well, that he was very visionary and his music was always ahead of time. And he did collaborations with several international artists as well. Not only that, I remember he produced films where he produced a film. In one film, Samantha Fox was featured. I remember there was another film where Boy George was featured. And then, I understand that there is also some collaborative work that you, Snoop Dogg, and Bappi-Da have also collaborated, which is still in the pipeline. It was not released so far. Can you just give us some insight about that collaboration as well?
Yeah, it's on, it's done. It's a song which is ready to be released.
But it's not released right now, right?
No, it's going to be released. It's a fabulous song. It's a banger again. मैं कल रात को ही कह रही थी, I was in shock. मैंने कहा, Bappi-Da के साथ मैं तो shoot करना चाह रही थी. I was going to go and shoot with him and Snoop Dogg. We have to figure out how to do that. It's a phenomenal song, and I don't know if I can talk anything more about that. But yes, and his songs, twice when we have sat in a restaurant, somebody has come to us. I think a plumber आया था हमारे घर, and he was walking around. He saw me singing. He said, hey, I like that music. So I said, yeah, you like Indian movie music? He said, yeah. He said, which song do you like? Have you heard? I said, yeah, I like Jimmy.
And that's the story behind that song, Jimmy. You said that remind me of that. So that's what you wanted.
Twice. Once it happened in my home. My plumber came home, and another time in a restaurant. It's amazing.
Can you talk about his preparation for the stage shows? Because you said on the stage he was not just confined to a particular raga or sur only. He used to let it stay loose, अपने ही mood में चलते थे. तो stage में how different he was while recording in the studio, and how was he on the stage?
Excellent question, actually. So the first time I met him was on stage, and the songs that I was singing were all his songs. Some of them I was familiar with. जब हम rehearse किया, एक बारी किया. And I believe, for me, practice and rehearsal is my religion. I believe in that. I like to be prepared. I'm dealing with the maestro. उन्होंने धुन बनाया. These are all his songs. So जब हम practice करते थे, he didn't worry about interludes. Music 1, music 2, between the paragraph, अंतरा के बीच में कौन सा music चलता है, वो सब मत बजाओ, he used to say. बस सुर में गाइए, and rhythm, and he would sing it fast. And he would go through a gamut, like maybe 20 of his songs. And then he would look at me and I'm like, and at fast pace, I had to keep up with him. अकेले गाते थे हम, अच्छे गाते, वो अपने धुन में, अपने स्टाइल में, and he's improvising on stage as he's going. The other character about him is, I was saying, मैंने इतने सारे shows के बहुत prepare करके की. इनके साथ एक ही rehearsal हुआ, एक voluntary band के साथ हुआ. It was the biggest hit. The biggest hit show was with Bappi-Da. So I think that has a lot to do with his personality and his music. He's a warm, lovable human being, kind, so pure at heart. He loved to have people around him. गाना जब कोई गाना गाते थे, उसको बुलाते थे, गाओ, फिर से गाओ. In the judging, I saw him as a judge. क्या जज किया उन्होंने? सबको एक advice देना, सबके बारे में कुछ अच्छा सा बोलना. And to me, I'm a novice. I was a novice when I met him. I still am compared to other celebrities in Bollywood. He was so kind and he was so generous in his praise for me. But when I'm in the studio, इतनी सी भी छूक नहीं थी. जब तक वो सुर ना लगे, जब तक उनके स्टाइल में नहीं गाओ. He was a music director then. He would not let it go by. Everything had to be perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I realized.
I see that Bappa is seasoned now. He's taking his skill set, his straightforward. बहुत कम लोगों को मालूम है कि भी along with the composer and a good singer, he was a good instrumentalist as well. He used to play tabla and several other instruments. कुछ उसके बारे में बताएंगे?
I know the story from Bappi-Da that he was, I think, 4 or 5 or 6 years, as a tender age as that, he played the tabla in a show. Lata ji thi wahan pe. She just picked him up. I think मेरे एक photograph में डाला Instagram में. Picked him up and lifted him up in the air. उनके मंदिर, उनका एक room है जहाँ पे वो record करते हैं. We call it the मंदिर. I call it. वहाँ पे बड़े-बड़े singers लता जी, आशा जी, किशोर दा record करते थे. वहाँ पे सब लगे हुए हैं. She said ये तो बहुत बड़े artist बनेंगे. She recognized the talent at that age. I think it was age 6. And he used to play brilliant tabla. As a Bollywood industry personality, he led a very different life. You will not hear a single scandal about him. मतलब saatvik जो थे इंसान यही थे. He was a great father. He was a fantastic son, actually, to begin with. Then he became a great husband, doting, lovely dad, doting grandfather, never smoked in his life, never drank. And he was very proud of his community. He said, I'm Brahmin, Ami Brahmin, very proud. Religious to the core. Ganpati Bappa, Shivji ke bhakt, roj puja karna. He believed in all that. He led his life like that. बहुत अच्छे संस्कार उन्होंने अपने बेटे को दिए, बप्पा को. I worked with him. He works with us, Juju Productions. I see that in his kids. He's given them those values and principles. And God, I'm just thinking of her.
Yeah. I mean, we indeed are going to miss this legend, and his music is going to stay with us for years to come, for many generations to come, indeed. देखिए, इस वक्त मूड अपबीट नहीं है. मैं आपको गाने के लिए तो गुजारिश नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन हाँ, आपसे ये जरूर जानना चाहूंगा कि someone who knew Bappi-Da so closely, मन की क्या मंशा है कि Bappi-Da को किस तरह से लोग याद रखें आने वाले समय में?
I think उनके गाने गाए, excuse me, उनके गाने गाने चाहिए, उनके वो गाने जो लोगों ने नहीं सुने. I want people to see that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I can totally understand. Anuradha, you take a break, but
just give me 1 minute. My voice doesn't move because I'm so far away from Mumbai, from Chitrani-Ji. I'm just thinking of her life, her entire life. I think they married very young. She must have been barely out of college, 19 or something. I'm just imagining, having devoted her life
Right.
Actually, that's what she did.
She actually used to shadow him. I mean, literally, she was everywhere with Dada all the time. You know,
yeah.
The opportunity.
I mean, you
of
need
meeting.
somebody like that when you devoted your life to music.
Exactly.
You need somebody to take care of you. And I think that was the main reason why she took care of him, because he had no time for anything else. She took care of the wife, children, and everybody. And she was a wonderful mom. And I think she was a fantastic wife to him. And he was devoted to her. So my prayers are with her, and I hope they're all doing fine. And I don't know, the children, and his grandson is doing very well. And we plan to go to Bombay.
What we understand is that he was very, very deeply connected with Bappi-Da. So I hope just as you, we pray as well. May God rest his soul in peace and give strength to the family to cope up this big.
And you were asking me, how should they remember him? I think he only wants to be remembered by his music. Everything else I spoke, I think he didn't care for much. But that's from because I had an insight into his life and his personality and his family. I had the privilege of knowing them from that, that distance. But I think he wanted people to listen to his song. And कितने अनगिनत लोगों के साथ उन्होंने काम किया है. Chitra, the South Indian playback singer.
Oh, yeah, legend.
Her first song was with him, Hindi song. Dil mein ho tum, वो भी गाया मैंने. And Janaki, S. Janaki, not Chitra, it was S. Janaki. उन्होंने गाया उनके साथ. Asha ji, I don't know, बिचारी, how she must be today. Alicia Chennai sang with him.
Oh, yes, Alicia Chennai sang, yeah.
So one more thing I want to bring up, he always had his ears open. तो उन्होंने हमको ये बताया how he brought disco and the synthesizer to India. He said
he shared those facts with you. Wow.
Everything. Okay. I told you he loved to talk. And if he found somebody who can listen, we would just sit with him and listen to all these stories. बहुत stories बताए हैं. तो उन्होंने बताया कि शिकागो में किसी बार में बैठे थे वो 60s में and he heard 70s में. Everything came on 70s. And he heard the synthesizer in a bar and he was completely taken aback with the sound. He said, "Ye hum India le jayega, hum Mumbai le jayega." And he used it. And then you have I am a disco dancer and say D, say I.
I am a disco dancer. Hey, I am a disco dancer. Hey, I am a disco dancer.
God,
amazing. Amazing. Listen, you take care of yourself. Thank you so very much for sharing your emotions with us and, some personal experiences, the quality time that you've spent with Bappi-Da, and look forward to catching up with you here in the studio sometime soon.
Thank you so much, Vikas.
We'll take another short break over here. On the other side of the break, we'll continue with this special episode on Bappi-Da. We'll be right back after these messages.